Good day, everyone, and welcome to our esoteric healing webinar on Sirius and its importance in the spiritual life of our planet. Before we start, let's link up as a group and do a very short visualization. Raise your consciousness as high as you possibly can. Endeavor then to hold steady, holding the mind unwaveringly in the group light. Realize that on DK's side, he is also standing steady, pouring out upon us his love and strength, and endeavoring to lift us up into a higher state of consciousness. And visualize ahead of us a disc or sphere of indigo blue, of a deep electric blue. And imagine DK standing in the center of that disc, waiting. And now see a band of golden light between us and the disc, gradually shortening, thus bringing us closer and closer together, slowly and steadily, until we enter into the heart of the blue disc. And let us sound a blue Om. While the topic of our presentation today is focused on Sirius, we need to bear in mind that there are three basic energies coming from the three major conditioning constellations of the Great Bear, from Sirius, and from the Pleiades, which flow into our solar system and which act as one. And way beyond our solar system, these basic energies affect our planetary life. They control and energize our solar system and pour through our three major planetary centers on Earth: Shambhala, hierarchy, and humanity, potently affecting all four kingdoms.
Sirius was called the dog star. It was the star of Mercury, or Buddha, called the great instructor of mankind. It is also commonly known as the dog star because it is the brightest star in the constellation Canis Minor, which means the big dog in Latin. The old commentary refers to Sirius as the radiant sun of suns, a bright sun where shines the light of life. Sirius, the scorcher, Politis. The name Sirius means searing or scorching in Greek. Sirius is called the Scorcher because the power of love burns away all impurities and the limitations of lunar life. This role of Sirius is related to the thought that our God is consuming fire. God is love, and God is a consuming fire. This fire, energized by love, has burnt out all personality qualities, leaving only a purified instrument, colored by the soul ray, and no longer necessitating the existence of a soul body. Our God is a consuming fire, as the divine, fiery nature of our solar logos emanates from Sirius, the soul of our solar logos.
There are three major groups of lives on Sirius, for there are no kingdoms of nature such as we possess. These groups receive all those who choose the fourth path and train them in the mode of existence and the type of livingness which is found on Sirius. And this will make it plain to you, says DK, that the least developed of the Syrian lives are, from our standpoint, all of them initiates of very high degree. Evil, as we understand it, has absolutely no place on Sirius. Evil being defined as simply the dominance of matter and the negation of the spiritual values, or pure materialism and selfishness. And now let's explore the role of Sirius and cosmic love in our local universe. Sirius is the source of cosmic energy in our solar system, and Gemini forms a point of entrance for the cosmic energy flowing from Sirius into our solar system. Making Gemini one of the most important signs of the zodiac, as Gemini controls esoterically the heart of our solar system and thus controls the pulsation of life, which sustains all that is. Gemini is therefore connected with the heart of the sun, the love of the whole. This cosmic energy is the source of Buddhi, of cosmic love, as the Syrian Logos is to our solar Logos what the human ego is to the personality.
Sirius and Leo. August, which is ruled by Leo, is the month of the dog star, or of Sirius, which thus brings Sirius into close relation to Leo. Leo, in the cosmic sense, and apart from our solar system altogether, is ruled by Sirius. The energy of Sirius also pours through Regulus, the heart of the lion. The influences of Sirius are focused in Regulus, which is a star of the first magnitude, and which is frequently called the heart of the lion. Regulus is the brightest star in the constellation Leo, and is also one of the brightest stars in the night sky. Regulus, the ruler. Leo is ruled by the sun, ray 2, which rules the heart, and the heart transmits the ray of love wisdom. The sun in Leo rules both the personality and the soul. The exceedingly bright star, one, the 4 royal stars, is Regulus, the ruler, the lawgiver, holding in its significance the thought that man can now be a law unto himself, for he has that within him which is the king or the ruler. The word Regulus comes from the Latin rex, meaning the king or the ruler. At first, the coordinated, self-assertive, totalitarian, and powerful roaring lion, which creates havoc and sows fear in those around him, is the dominant personality. But in time, the king of beasts is crucified and defeated by the real, beneficent king within, the loving soul. So the cosmic love flows from Sirius to Leo, the heart of the lion, and to our solar system. Our sun is the triple ruler of Leo. The sun, ray 2, rules both Leo, exoterically, personality, and esoterically, soul, as well as hierarchically, monad. Our sun is the embodiment of the heart or love aspect of the Logos, who is himself the heart of one about whom not a be said.
And now let's explore the connection between Sirius and Earth.
Sirius and Earth. It might be considered by those with a sound sense of occult proportion that our tiny planet, with its planetary logos, one of the imperfect gods of the secret doctrine, would be too small to enter in the slightest way into the consciousness of that supreme, illumined entity who is greater even than our solar logos. Such, however, is the case. Close relationship between Sirius and our Earth, a non-sacred planet. There is a relationship of very ancient date between our Lord of the World, Sanat Kumara, and the Lord of Sirius. And this exists in spite of the fact that our planet is not a sacred planet. Sirius and our planetary logos. It might be added that our planet is, in the immediate cycle, rapidly passing out of this category and, on the inner planes, and subjectively considered, is a sacred planet. The effects of this transition from non-sacred to sacred have not fully demonstrated themselves objectively. The mystery of this relationship is partially revealed at one of the higher initiations. Subtle impression from Sirius is received by highest members of the Council of Shambhala. The recipients of this impression from members of the Great White Lodge on Sirius are the highest members of the Great Council, presided over by the Lord of the world. So subtle is this impression that these great lives can only receive it with accuracy when in full joint conference of the entire council, and also after due preparation.
In fact, cosmic love from Sirius flows into the heart of our planetary logos. As we have told, a stream of energy coming from the sun Sirius enters directly into the hierarchy and carries with it the principle of Buddhi, of cosmic love. And this, in a mysterious way, is the principle found at the very heart of every atom. The energy evoked in response to this relationship enters our hierarchy via the heart of the sun, creating as a consequence a triangle of spiritual energy of enormous potency. We have therefore a triangle linking Sirius to the heart of the sun, to hierarchy, the heart center of our planetary logos. And now let's explore the connection between Sirius and the law of freedom.
The law of freedom governs life on Sirius. Thus, this unique and mysterious law govern the life and the lives upon Sirius. Sirian law of freedom influence our planet in particular. This divine principle represents an aspect of the influence which Sirius exerts on our solar system and particularly on our planet. Three cosmic laws, only aspects of the law of freedom. The law of freedom is the law of within the three cosmic laws: the law of synthesis, the law of attraction, and the law of economy are only aspects. None of these three subsidiary laws imposes any ruling or limitation upon the Lord of the world. The law of freedom, however, does impose certain restrictions. What's this mysterious law? The principle of freedom is a living energy which can permit substance in a unique manner. This principle of freedom is one of the attributes of deity, like will, love, and mind, that enable the life of spiritual aspects to free itself from the impact, the contact, and the influence of substance.
DK calls it pulling away from form, and that's an important definition of the law of freedom. It's the principle of freedom which enables Sanat Kumara to dwell on our earth and yet stands free from all contacts. The Lord of the world is not identified with a Maya which he has created, and which has its purpose in eventually bringing about the release of the prisoners of the planet. To that Maya, he is supremely indifferent. And it is this divine indifference which has led to the great theological illusion of an anthropomorphic deity, and to the belief in the East that our planet is but the background or the plaything of the gods. But far from it. The law of freedom is responsible for his being known as the great sacrifice. For under the control of this law, he created our planetary life and all that is within and upon it. In order to learn to wield this law with full understanding, in full consciousness, and yet at the same time to bring release to the myriad forms of his creation. What is divine indifference? It's the achieving of a neutral attitude towards that which is regarded as the not self. All disciples need to acquire that divine indifference which leaves the soul free to serve, untrammeled by personality reactions. For that is what all solar plexus conditions basically are. In actual fact, being a cell in the body of the one in whom we move and have our being, this is also the goal for all humanity eventually. Sirius and the law of karma. There is an intermediate law, which is the synthetic law of the system of Sirius. This law is called by the generic term the law of karma, and really predicates the effect the Sirian system has on our own solar system. We have the great law of Sirius, the law of karma, on the third subplane of the cosmic mental plane, which law really controls our logos and his actions in the same way as the ego, in due course of evolution, controls the human personality. Our earth is also governed by the Sirian law of karma. The lords of karma on our system are under the rule of a greater lord of karma on Sirius. We are governed by the Sirian lord of karma, that is our planetary logos, and we, in the body of him, we live and move and have our being, are also under the Sirian law of karma. we have practically no effect on our parent system, that is the Sirian system. The reflex action is so slight as to be negligible, but very definite effects are felt in our system through causes arising in Sirius. These causes, when experienced as effects, are called by us the law of karma. The Lipika lords of our system, the systemic lords of karma, are under the rule of a greater corresponding lord on Sirius. And the lords of karma, or the Maharajas, work with the sons of men in the three worlds and through Manasic principle. The Lord of the world, Sanat Kumara, decided to create this planet of ours for strictly redemptive purposes. And Sanat Kumara is the divine prisoner of this planet, held here until the last weary pilgrim has found his way home. And this is his heavy karma, making him the prototype of old world saviors. There's a Syrian group of astral devas who are agents of the lords of karma on our astral plane. These lords of karma from Sirius work on our systemic astral plane through a group of devas who are the sum total of the astral light. They are the agents of the karmic lords, who are in themselves deva entities of an inconceivably advanced evolution, and who, in their own substance, record, produce effects from cause and direct force. Sirius, Kama Manas, the cosmic astral plane, and the systemic astral plane make a close interlocking chain. Sirius, hierarchy, and our planetary life. Two very important points were made earlier. Sirius has a very close relationship with our planetary logos. So Sirius is a very important factor in the spiritual life of our planet. And secondly, that cosmic love from Sirius flows directly into the heart of our planetary logos as a stream of energy coming from the sun Sirius enters directly into the hierarchy and carries with it the principle of Buddhi and of cosmic love. The Sirian energy bypasses Shambhala, as energy from Sirius does not normally enter our planetary life via Shambhala, the head chakra of our planet. The entire work of the Great White Lodge is controlled from Sirius. The energies coming from the sun Sirius are related to the love-wisdom aspect, or to the attractive power of the solar logos, to the soul of that great being. And this cosmic soul energy is related to a hierarchy. That is cosmic love emanating from the great sun Sirius, the soul of our solar logos, flows through the logoic 12-petaled heart, the heart center of the cosmic logos, the one about whom naught may be said, and through to the planetary 12-petaled heart of our planetary logos, hierarchy. Then to our solar angels on the higher subplanes of the mental plane. Our solar angels, hearts of fiery love, are transmitters of cosmic love. Our solar angels are linked to the heart of the solar logos through their symbol of 12-petaled lotus, which reveals their true characteristics, that is, they are transmitters of cosmic love. These great redeeming angels, the units of the fifth hierarchy, are called the hearts of fiery love. They save through love, and in their turn, these lives are peculiarly close to the great heart of love of the solar logos. The Agnishvatas, the self-conscious principles, the builders or constructors of the egoic body on the higher mental levels, themselves originate from the logoic middle principle, that is, from the soul of our logos. So since we know that cosmic love flows from the cosmic sun of suns, Sirius, into our solar system, and during Pralaya, the Agnishvatas, or the solar angels, are withdrawn, as everything else, from manifestation and return to a cosmic center, so we can safely speculate that this cosmic center is Sirius. The entire work of the Great White Lodge is controlled from Sirius. The ashrams are subjected to its cyclic inflow. The higher initiations are taken under its stimulation. For the principle of Buddhi, of pure love, that is love wisdom, must be active in the heart of every initiate prior to the initiation of the great decision, that is the sixth. It is therefore only initiates of the fifth, sixth, and the higher initiations who can work consciously with a potent Buddhic livingness, which permeates all ashrams, though unrecognized by the average disciple. The energy of Sirius is focused in hierarchy, but its effect is not felt until after the third initiation. Although the masters use this energy whilst training disciples for the second, the fourth, and the sixth initiation. And on Sirius, masters of the fifth initiation are humble disciples. As Sirius is the home of that greater lodge to which our fifth initiation admits a man and to which it brings him as a humble disciple. The sun Sirius is closely related to our planetary life. Now, much is known in the hierarchy anent this connection, but the Syrian influence was not recognized, and little of it was definitely focused in the hierarchy until Christ came and revealed the love of God to humanity. He, the Christ, is the expression par excellence of a Syrian initiation, and it is to that high place he will eventually go. No matter what duties or hierarchical obligations may take him elsewhere between that time and now. And Sirius will also be home to the bulk of humanity eventually. The majority of liberated humanity, and therefore a large number of the initiates who have to make decision, that is the sixth initiation, choose this way to this cosmic center Sirius. And to become a candidate in that lodge, the initiate of the third degree has to become a lowly aspirant, with all the true and full initiations awaiting him within the sunshine of the major sun.
Sirius, the star of initiation. As we saw earlier, Sirius is the great star of initiation because our hierarchy, an expression of the second aspect of divinity, is under the supervision or spiritual magnetic control of the hierarchy of Sirius. How does the ageless wisdom define initiation? It is, first of all, the entering into a new and wider dimensional world by the expansion of a man's consciousness so that he can include and encompass that which he now excludes and from which he normally separates himself in his thinking and acts. It is, secondly, the entering into man of those energies which are distinctive of the soul and of the soul alone, the forces of intelligent love and of spiritual will. The heart center is the organ of distribution. The heart center is the organ for the distribution of hierarchical energy poured out via the soul into the heart center of all aspirants, disciples, and initiates. As the Bible says, the love of God is shed abroad in the human heart, and its transforming magnetic and radiatory power is essential for the reconstruction of the world and for the establishment of the new world order. The heart center is the agent of the soul of our planetary logos. It is that center, the heart, therefore, in the physical body through which the hierarchy works. It is the agent of the soul. When I here use the word soul, I refer not only to the individual soul of man, but to the soul also of the planetary logos, both of which are the result of the union of spirit and matter, of the father aspect and the mother aspect. The heart center registers the energy of love. When the Antakarana has been finally constructed, the heart center becomes the agent of for spiritual love, Buddhi. Syrian love basis for the substance of the next solar system. Then hierarchy and the solar angels, the hearts of fiery love, would have accomplished their work, expanded Syrian love, the principle of Buddhi, the principle found at the heart of every atom, and transmuted each cell in his body in a sphere of radiant glory, a blaze of fire and light, and a source of magnetic radiation. Then the sun in the heavens shines. The divine plan will thus be restored on earth. Then the next solar system will start with the threefold spirit manifesting through substance, which is essentially distinguished by active, intelligent love.
Scorpio is under the influence or the inflowing energy of Sirius. This is the great star of initiation. But esoterically, it is called the brilliant star of sensitivity. Sirius, the star of sensitivity, governing hierarchy. Scorpio is the great constellation which influences the turning point both in the life of humanity and the life of the individual human being. For the first time in the history of both mankind and disciples, the energy of Sirius pouring into the 7 groups which form our planetary hierarchy evokes a response. And behind the sensitive theme of the unfolding of the soul in the divine plan stands Sirius. Throughout the universe, it is the soul which is the conscious, sensitive theme of the divine plan. The soul as the animal soul, the soul as the human soul, the soul as the ego or spiritual soul on its own plane. There are 4 interlocking triangles that potently affect every kingdom in nature. We have first the cosmic triangle made up of the Great Bear, Sirius, and the Pleiades. They pour the 3 streams of energy of will, love and wisdom, and active intelligence into the second zodiacal triangle made up of Leo, Pisces, and Capricorn, which then flow into our solar system through the triangle of Saturn, Uranus, and Mercury, and from the solar system then to our Earth, to Shambhala, our planetary head, to hierarchy, our planetary heart center, and Earth and humanity, our planetary Ajna center. And from these 3 planetary centers, then this energy flows to the initiate via his head center, to the disciple via his heart center and the aspirant via the ajna center. Then down to the base of the spine, the seat of the personal will, then to the solar plexus, seat of personal desire, then down to the throat chakra, seat of personal creativity. And from there, as humanity is the macrocosm of the lower kingdoms, therefore these three streams of energy potently affect every kingdom in nature via the four interlocking triangles.
Behind man's first initiation lies the subtle influence of Sirius. The combination of the influences of Sirius, Leo, and Uranus has been much needed at this time to foster and bring about those conditions which will enable mankind, under the steady influence of hierarchy, to take the first initiation and give birth to the Christ, thus revealing and bringing to the light of day the inner, hidden, spiritual man. It is in Leo that man undergoes the preparatory stages of this first initiation. He finds himself and becomes self-conscious. Then he arrives at the stage of intelligent discipleship. Finally, he stands ready for the ordeal and the accolade of fire, preceding the first initiation. At that final stage, humanity stands today. When, as it is now the case, the influence of Uranus is added to the other influences, and the seventh ray is at the same time entering into a major cycle of activity on the Earth, there is then present the energy needed to precipitate the crisis of initiation and produce a great rhythmic awakening. Sirius and the New World Religion. Later, when the New World Religion is founded and is working, we shall find that the major monthly festival in August, held at the time of the full moon, will be dedicated to the task of making contact via the hierarchy with Sirian force.
And now finally, Sirius and healing. What has these two got to do with it? Radiatory healing is soul healing, the highest form of healing where pure soul energy is poured in the vehicles of the patient. It was in this way that Christ, a Syrian initiate, the embodiment of the cosmic ray of love and wisdom, worked. And this is the objective that we, the members of the esoteric healing faculty at Moria Federation, keep firmly in mind. We endeavor to be the distributing agents of the Syrian and hierarchical energy of love shed abroad in the human heart for the reconstruction of the world and for the establishment of the new world order and for the manifestation of a more definitely spiritual civilization.
So let us pause before we distribute the energy of love as a group and breathe into these teachings that we have sounded today, understanding in a much higher way the grand, great influence of the cosmos through Sirius down into our planet. And visualize the flow of unconditional love, the great will to good emanating from the triangle, the extraplanetary triangle of the avatar of synthesis, the spirit of peace, and the Buddha powering the Christ at the center. Let us lift, and using the power of our creative visualization as a group, superimpose that radiating triangle on a triangle of the Christ, Master DK, and our soul group. And into the blended triangle, our group triangle, of the group crown chakra, the group ajna center, and the group alta major. And let's pause there and sound the soul mantra as a group, unified as soul, unified as light divine, unified as love, unified as will, unified as fixed design. Feel the energies pouring into our group chakra triangle. And then directing this dispelling radiance via our group ajna center and the right eye and left eye, this triangle of distribution, which we place as a blended triangle, impressing 3 of the planetary centers, London, Geneva, and New York. See the flow of this dispelling radiance moving into and through this dynamic, beautiful, radiant triangle, the outlets on our planet for the distribution of this great healing energy. Continue to focus on that highest point and visualize beautiful, transcending radiance as we say the healer's mantra aloud in a low voice, slowly, deliberately, believing in the results. May the love of the one soul focused in this group radiate upon you, our fellow men, and permeate every part of your body, healing, soothing, strengthening, and dissipating all that hinders service and good health. We become the distributing center for this healing energy. To close our time together today, we will sound the great invocation from the mental plane as the soul, as one in union with the Christ, and sound a blue Om silently between each verse. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Hear the sounding of the silent Om on the inner planes, in unison with the Christ and Masters in the hierarchy. Now raise your clasped hands above the head and say, "So let it be," and help us to do our part, bringing the hands down to the forehead and then to the heart. So let it be, and help us to do our part.
Thank you, friends, for joining us today, and we will see you in meditation at the garden visualization 12 hours prior to the full moon later on this week, and at the full moon of Leo as well.